Hi, I'm MC Pula, and this week I'm reviewing. Now before we start off, as always, I just want to take a quick second to remind you guys to make sure you hit that like button if you like today's video, and if you're new here, please make sure to hit that subscribe button as well for more new movie-related content weekly. But without further ado, let's jump into today's film. Werewolves Within was directed by Josh Rubin, and based on the video game of the same name, the film stars Sam Richardson as a timid forest ranger assigned to oversee the construction of a new pipeline in a remote village, and to deal with the response from its crazy residents. Now, when reports start pouring in about a mysterious monster terrorizing the townsfolk, though, he finds himself forced to not only protect them from the beast, but from each other, too. That is, unless he doesn't lose his mind in the process, either. Milana Vayntrub, Harvey Guillen, Michaela Watkins, and Glenn Fleshler co-star, among many others. Now, for those of you guys who don't know who Josh Rubin is, he used to be a contributor over at College Humor, which is a sketch comedy website. And I'm not going to lie and say that I wasn't expecting the comedy to be strong here, because, I mean, in addition to having such a strong background in it, there are a lot of comedic actors in this film as well. But I am especially impressed with his ability to juggle the horror alongside the humor. Yes, there are a lot of lighthearted moments in this film, but there are also some really scary ones too. I did not think that this film was going to be as compelling or as enjoyable or as exhilarating as it was. And I'm going to hate myself for making this pun, but it really sunk its teeth into me. Even though I did enjoy this film, there were a couple of things that I wish were a bit better. In terms of writing, there were things that I both loved and hated, for example. On the positive side, you'd probably never know that this film is based on a video game, mostly because it really only takes the premise of being a whodunit and then elevates it by like 1,000%. There are also a lot of lines that, when delivered initially, sound like word vomit or filler or even improvisation, but as the film goes on, you start to realize that those things are actually important, that maybe you shouldn't have dismissed them the first time around. And I like that because it's a perfect example of what this film does on a grander scale, and that is subvert your expectations. And that goes hand in hand with another thing that I really liked about this film, which was the acting. I think the two leads, Sam Richardson and Milana Vayntrub, do a fantastic job, especially at playing against type. Sam Richardson, of course, is most known as being the comic relief in the background in a lot of the films that he's been in to date. But here, he takes charge in the foreground, and I loved it. He was so perfect in this role, and I would love to see him continue to be a leading man in the future. He certainly has that leading man potential, and of course, he's hilarious, right? It's perfect. Milana Vayntrub, who most of you guys are looking at and probably thinking to yourself, oh, I know her from somewhere. She is the girl from the AT&T commercials, and yes, she can do a lot more than just being commercials. This film is very evident of that, and I loved seeing what she could do, seeing her do something totally different from what we probably see her do all the time. And she's another person who I'm very excited to see where her career goes in the future. Speaking about characters, though, and backtracking a little bit to what I was trying to say earlier about some of the things I didn't quite admire about the script, there is very clearly a red herring here, and by that I mean a character who is played up a bit too much at the very beginning and then who just conveniently pops in and out of the story to arouse suspicion every now and then. And I don't know, for a film that, as I said, you know, subverts your expectations, it seemed kind of lazy and cliched, but that's not my biggest issue with it, believe it or not. In fact, my biggest issue with the film isn't with the script or the actual quality of it. Instead, it's with the direction the story takes. I just was really interested in where the film was originally headed. Like, for the first half of the film, you are inclined to believe that things are going to happen one way, but then about halfway through, it makes a sharp, hilarious left turn. And I mean, everything that happens in the second half of the film is still pretty enjoyable and funny. I just could not stop thinking about what would have happened had we stayed in the direction that the film was originally steering us. Nevertheless, Werewolves Within is still fantastic fun, and it's easily both one of the funniest horror whodunits ever made, and one of my favorite films of the year so far. And for that, I'm going to give it 4 stars.
Well, we're having a good old-fashioned sleepover.
With guns, though.
With guns, yes.
Guys, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to view this video. It really does mean the world to me. And once again, if you like this video, please make sure to hit that like button. And if you're new here, please make sure to hit that subscribe button as well for more new movie-related content weekly. Now, if you happen to see this film, if you love it, if you hated it, let me know what you thought about it down below in the comment section. I look forward to reading and responding to all of your comments as always. But with that being said, that's pretty much all the time that I have for you guys today. I have a lot of content on the way, a bunch of stuff. I know I say this all the time, but there is a lot of stuff that I really do have planned, and I cannot wait to share with you both this week and next. So, if you will excuse me, I am going to get back to work. Until next time, I'm Dempsey Pulot. Take care.